So I get a little weirded out by the word influencer. I always have, it's like I'm allergic to it. But the thing is, when you start making content and you start putting yourself out there, you build a community. And with community comes influence. And so because I'm a little hesitant to use that word, I almost wanted to do an experiment. So I sent out an Instagram story a couple days ago, just saying, meet me here at 12:30 on Friday, just to see if anyone would actually show up in real life. Because if your influence online can translate offline, that's a pretty amazing thing, and you can actually have real human connections with your tribe. So I don't know if anyone's even gonna show, but we're about to find out. Hi! It's a weird thing to build a following, but once you do, you have a responsibility to figure out what to do with it and to continue building relationships with your community. Rule number one, treat people like people and treat them how you'd want to be treated. Outside of that, the best brands in the world that stand the test of time, like McDonald's and Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Oprah, Apple, they all have common elements that make them influential. And I'm gonna break down the 3 steps to become an influencer in today's video so you can start using it for your own strategy. But first, it's important to understand that you probably already are an influencer, whether you like it or not. If someone has taken the time to click follow or subscribe or like, you have influence. You have people who are looking at you and wanting to hear from you and looking to you as a guide. That's influence. You are an influencer. The best article on this topic is called 1,000 True Fans. And if you haven't read it yet, this concept is so brilliant, and it talks about long-term community building and long-term sustainable success, about going deep rather than going wide. Now, what this means, and what I really applied to my own business, is to be a successful creator, you don't need millions. So what it says in the article is you don't need millions of dollars or millions of customers, millions of clients, or millions of fans. To make a living as a craftsperson, photographer, musician, designer, author, animator, app maker, entrepreneur, or inventor, you only need 1,000 true fans. And the math is, if you have 1,000 true fans who are dedicated to you and to your brand and to your business, if those 1,000 true fans are paying you $100 a year, that's $100,000 a year. There are people out there who have millions and millions of fans and followers but don't have any business behind it. They don't even know how to monetize it or make money from it. They just happen to have this really random, varied, wide following instead of this dedicated tribe who knows exactly why they're there and what they're following you for and what they ultimately want to invest in with you. That's much better for you in the long run and much easier for you to manage because it's building deep connections and relationships versus these surface level, fad, viral connections.
So here's what I love about Be Your Own Boss. It's all about owning who you are and using that to be your authentic self and be able to use that as an opportunity to live your best life and possibly find something that you're passionate about in your everyday life. And that's exactly what Sunny stands for. So I'm a big fan.
Smash the like button if you are excited about this, because I think the 3 steps that I'm about to share with you are going to change the game for you in building a ton of influence in your space, in your industry. First and foremost is relevant content. Not just random content, because random content is going to get you a random audience. It's not going to get you people who are actually interested in following you for the long term. It's going to give you a viral hit of success, which might sound really glamorous to you, but it really doesn't mean anything. And I can say this from experience and from working with people who have millions and millions and millions of followers and subscribers, but they don't know what to do with them. So focus on content that provides value in some way, shape, or form, because the more value you can bring, the better quality of audience you're going to attract, and you're really going to find those 1,000 true fans.
And I really liked the content that she gave out. I liked her style, I liked her energy, and I actually liked the fact that she was giving a lot of information in a really short period of time.
Think about it this way. If you're putting out scattered, random, irrelevant content, you're attracting a scattered, random, irrelevant audience. Make sure that you're focusing first and foremost on that content that's providing value. And the thing to remember here is that it has nothing to do with you. The less you focus on yourself and the more you focus on how much impact you can have on your audience, the faster you're going to build your influence. Step 2 is consistency. And what I mean by this isn't just let's post at the same time every day and every week. That is huge, and it's a big part of creating influence and building a tribe and a community around your brand that is super loyal. You guys know I post every Tuesday at 6:45 a.m. I show up for you, you show up for me. It's just like an offline relationship. You have to build that trust, but that's not really what I want to dive into right now. What I want to talk about right now is the concept of primal branding, which is an incredible book I highly recommend, and it was recommended to me by a friend, that breaks down what all the biggest brands in the world have done to create cult-like followings that have lasted generations over generations. So what it breaks down to is different steps that each of these iconic brands has taken. So take, for example, Apple. The first thing that Apple has that really created this cult-like following for generations over generations is a creation story. So this is step number one of primal branding. A creation story is the origin. How did it start? What's the emotional factor of how this business was built? So for Apple, it was started in a garage by two guys named Steve. And it seems like this crazy story for now where Apple is as a company. So you want to start with your creation story. That's super important.
Her podcast is amazing. And honestly, it's not just her content, it's the information that she's sharing through other people as well.
The next step of this is your creed. What is it that you believe in? So for me and for my brand, it's be your own boss and build your own life. And I say that every single video because that's what I'm a stand for and what I want to be stand for you. You can also think of someone or a brand like McDonald's, golden arches. No matter where you go in the world, you know that's a symbol for McDonald's. And as much as that might not be the thing that you really are craving at that time, it creates a sense of familiarity and safety because you know it, you trust it, and you've probably been going there since you were a kid. So that icon makes a huge difference to the brand loyalty and why that brand has been able to stand the test of time. The next thing is creating rituals. So for a brand like Starbucks, you know that you're gonna go get your morning coffee. It becomes part of your daily routine. It becomes part of your life. It becomes part of your go-to, which is also why a lot of the times people will choose to go to a Starbucks versus any other coffee shop. It's not because the coffee is any different or any better. It's more so because it's part of their life and their ritual. Rituals can also come through symbols or phrases or anything that you do consistently in your content creates a ritual with your audience. The next thing is Pagans, which means basically the opposite of your tribe. And any big brand or any success story is going to have opposites. So when it comes to things like McDonald's, you have Burger King. Or it comes to car companies, there's so many different competing car companies, and there's loyal brand ambassadors for each one. So Pagans are not necessarily a bad thing, and it's important to recognize who you don't want in your tribe because it's all about attracting the right people, those true fans, as opposed to trying to attract everyone. Because attracting everyone is actually gonna build slower momentum for your business than attracting the real people who actually want to be there. The next thing is sacred words. And the best example that I can give you of this is, again, going back to Starbucks. Some of the orders that you'll hear when people go to the till at Starbucks are so incredibly random if you hear them out of context. Now, I just happen to get a simple green tea, but creating words like venti, grande, whatever it might be, those are only terms that you really hear at a Starbucks, and double tall, sugar-free, vanilla soy latte. That's an order you're only really gonna give at Starbucks. And even if you only give it there, no matter where else you go in the world for a coffee, you're probably gonna repeat that same phrase and it won't mean the same thing if you're at a different coffee shop. So that's those sacred words or sacred phrases that create almost like a cult or a tribe within your company that's like this little secret society. So as a business or brand, what are some of the things that you can create that are unique words? I.e. for us, it's hashtag BYOBoss. We knew no one else was using that. And so that was something that created a sacred word within our tribe.
Be your own boss stands for being independent, doing what you actually want to do, not just doing a 9-to-5 job, something boring that you're forced to do. It's actually doing what you love.
Now, the final step of this primal branding code is leaders. So you always have to have a head of the business, the brand, the tribe, a symbol of what the brand really is. So it can be the leader, the CEO of the company. It could be, you know, a fictional character that's like the mascot of the company. It can be whatever you think fits best as the leader and the model of what your business represents. But you have to have something that people can look towards. In most cases, if you're trying to be an influencer, that's gonna be you. So you need to make sure that you're representing all of the qualities and characteristics that you want your brand to represent and that we've talked about in these prior steps. So I can't recommend enough you pick up that book, Primal Branding. Again, it's linked in the description below because it really breaks down beautifully how to build a cult-like following and really build your influence. Now, what I want you to do right now is I want you to comment below and tell me what's a brand or a person that you follow that's really someone that you followed for your entire life and you have such an attraction and a loyalty to. For me, it's Oprah. I have followed her because of all of those elements that we just talked about, because if you start dissecting them, you'll start to realize there's things that they're doing that you can actually create in your own business and brand to create true influence. So the next step is connection. And connection is about your tribe. It is not about you. It is about how much you're bringing to the world. The people who create true influence, i.e. an Oprah, are all about generosity and giving. So what are the unique skill sets and the unique values that you can bring to the table that will truly influence your audience? And the real kicker here is creating a methodology that you've come up with. So anyone can talk about any kind of tutorial to do anything in the world, but if you can create some sort of acronym around it or create it as your own methodology, it's a lot easier for people to hold on to and associate you with what you do and what you're an expert in. Creating your own methodology is really important in creating true connection with your audience. It's all about them.
She's right there with you, supporting you along the journey, and I can't say how important that is as a fellow creator and entrepreneur.
And on another level with connection, people, again, want to work with people that they know, like, and trust, and that they see as an authority. So to create real, true connection with your audience, you have to have truth in your testimonials. You have to have real testimonials and proof from people who have worked with you or have come in contact with your content and that you've made a real difference for. So maybe you don't have a course, or maybe you don't even have something that you're offering as a business yet, but I can guarantee if you put content out there that's valuable, you are helping people. So ask that question on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube in the comments. Ask, how have I been able to help you? And you'll start collecting all of these qualitative comments about how you've helped other people, and you can start sharing those other places, and that's going to help build that trust and that cult following, because people will see you as an actual expert as opposed to someone who just claims to be an expert. So those are the 3 steps to building your influence and becoming an influencer. And like I said, I'm gonna announce the Boss Club winner in just a second, but before I do, we've created something pretty cool for you. I'm calling it the Influencer's Handbook, and it's breaking down all of the concepts that I just shared in this video. You can grab it, download it below this video. We've got a link in the description. So make sure you snag that and start building your influence in a very real and authentic way, like I know you can. Remember, you don't need to please everybody, and if you want to really drive that point home, make sure you watch last week's video on how to handle rejection and hate. It'll definitely set you up for success in starting to build your influence and putting yourself out there on a bigger scale and a bigger level. Like I said, the Boss Club winner, all you have to do is comment below with #BossClub to enter to win a shout out in one of my videos or some BYO Boss swag. And this week's winner is Mandy Lynn. She said, love everything about this video. So amazing to hear how you started from nothing and got where you are today. I'm an author and I've worked for years to build my platform, and now I can feel something big is just at my fingertips. But this time it doesn't feel so far out of reach. I love that comment, and it isn't far out of reach. Thank you so much for commenting, Mandy, and make sure that you leave your comments below as well to be entered to win a Boss Club shout out. Now, if you like this video, as I mentioned, hit that like button below, leave me a comment below. I do read them, as you can see, and subscribe for new videos every single Tuesday on how to be your own boss and build your own life. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Be your own boss and build your own life.